These are some of the things that you may be feeling right now. You may have problems with your immune system. Maybe you're getting sick all the time. Maybe you have like this. Why did I go into the room? Where are my keys? What was I going to say? I don't know if this is you or not, but when I was getting into my late 40s and early 50s, some of these things were showing up all the time. I mean, it was only 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. My God, I didn't know how I was going to make it through the rest of the afternoon. Have you had that happen? That's stress, okay? Then when you start adding in the responsibilities like families and the house and the car and your job and all those things, now let's just add the fact that there's a whole bunch of people who are relying on you. I think you've just added a little bit more stress, right? Are you feeling me with this? What about your mood, your attitude, the fatigue, okay? Just look at the lady in the picture. She's like worn out. So what's happening here is that there's a cascade of sequential problems and breakdowns that are happening internally. In the body, there are scientific definitions for why those things are happening. It's not just emotional stress, it's something called oxidative stress. This is a fancy term that sums up how your body is essentially chemically rusting from the inside out. There's also mitochondrial decline, where you don't have the energy that used to be there because the system is also degrading. And then there's the third problem, low sirtuin activity, which is basically like all the gears are getting all gunked up. There's a ton of issues going on, and that's where turning the lights off and dimming our switches is about. So realize that since scientists have already discovered that we have genes in our body that can keep us healthy and can stimulate these failing body systems, the next logical step was to figure out if we could leverage those genes. In essence, the analogy is that if you could flip the switch, would you? So that's meant to be a rhetorical question, since everybody on the face of the earth would do that. If they could do that, they would want to turn those genetic pathways right back on. Why wouldn't you do that? If you could leverage those genes to help take care of those 3 problems? Okay, so I'm going to address the 3 of them for you right now in order. Again, the first one is oxidative stress. What the heck is that word? It's another word for cellular aging. It's when those cells start to break down. See, when that apple got a bite taken out of it, the skin, the protective barrier was removed. That was the damaging event. And it starts to oxidize or yellow, or basically age. It does this right in front of you. That's what's happening to the cells in your body all day long. It's just that it's such a slow, insidious process that you don't even know that's going on. It's crazy. So there are over 250,000 clinical studies telling us how bad oxidative stress is for your body. So here's the situation. We've identified that the genetic pathway that reduces oxidative stress is called NRF2. And if you activate it with specific signals from food by taking 5 specific plant ingredients combined together in a precise ratio, they actually amplify each other by 1,800%. I'm talking about an incredible discovery. Protandim NRF2 Synergizer. You can literally flip that switch back on again. What? Are you kidding me? Do you know what kind of a big deal that is? Well, here's the thing. By flipping that switch, you can lower a person's oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days, and as much as 70% by 4 months. That's not just some made-up number. That's a peer-reviewed clinical study looking at blood tests. You can't fake that. It raises glutathione by 300% and 2 other super antioxidants by 30 to 54%. The scientists reported it in the NIH's scientific publications. So go look and see what the experts had to say about it. What they determined is that by lowering oxidative stress, you're reducing cellular aging. Think of reversal in cellular aging by 40%. In fact, Washington State University in 2015 said it's the most important health promoting approach in the foreseeable future, and it may be the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of health. The National Institutes on Aging also did studies. You really need to go see these studies for yourself to see exactly how it works. I'm talking about the activation of internal antioxidant production, and it's all controlled by NRF2. The website is simple to use. It's pubmed.gov. You'll see there are between 27 and 31 peer-reviewed studies on there from the likes of Harvard, free radical biology, Colorado State, Virginia Commonwealth University. There was a study in there that was published in the Journal of Circulation. Every cardiologist in the US reads the Journal of Circulation. The fact that protandim has a clinical study in that same prestigious journal, that blew me away. Do you see all the different organizations and schools that have been studying it? Go to pubmed.gov and go do the research yourself. So mitochondrial decline. Basically, mitochondria are our energy factories. It's like this battery losing its charge. Your cell phone starts to lose its charge. You know how it goes from full and then it gets down to like half a bar left. That's what's going on in your body. If you haven't heard about mitochondrial dysfunction and all the issues going on with the mitochondria, the powerhouses of the cell, you need to know that they are the batteries and it's where we get our energy, our cellular energy for everything. Breathing, talking, thinking, moving. Everything relies on the energy that's produced by our cells. Unfortunately, like it says, over time, that mitochondrial production goes down. So we've also identified that the NRF1 genetic pathway is the one that's responsible for mitochondria. We learned this from mapping the human genome. Once again, researchers at LifeVantage worked on creating a blend of 5 plant ingredients or 5 natural ingredients in a protandim NRF1 synergizer. And now we're able to flip that NRF1 switch to turn on our mitochondrial production by 70%. I'm just going to say that that's amazing. So not only are you producing more mitochondria, but they're larger and healthier mitochondria that can resist that oxidative stress destruction as well. So what does that mean in English? More energy, more energy. If you can increase the cell's production ability, you're going to increase the energy level of your body. You're not going to feel like you're sluggish or dragging or fatigued all the time, like the lady was in that picture where she's holding her head and she's going, oh my gosh, it's only 3 o'clock and I'm ready to pass out in the middle of the afternoon. Guys, this is big. I promise you, it has never been done before. These 2 products are literally pioneering the field of health and wellness. Okay, so now the third problem, it's sirtuin decline. Sirtuin is another big fancy name, but basically what sirtuins are proteins that are responsible for cleanup. They're like the garbage bin. They help out the cell. They keep things moving. They lubricate the cells, improving efficiency and getting rid of all of the waste products. And they help to remove dying cells. But again, over time, the sirtuin activity not only decreases, but the production of them also decreases. And so now you have the waste or the gunk building up in the gears where they're all slowed down. The NAD genetic pathway is what's responsible for building up sirtuins. In this case, there are 4 ingredients, 4 ingenious ingredients blended together in the protandim NAD synergizer that are flipping that switch on again. You notice the common theme? It's all about flipping the switch. You activate the pathway and the body produces more sirtuins by 100% in 24 hours. In English, what that means, everyone, is that before protandim, you had basically 2 ways to increase sirtuins. You could starve yourself. First, you could starve yourself with caloric restriction, like a 600 calorie per day diet. No, that's not going to happen for me. If you did a 600 calorie day diet, you would increase the NAD activity by 94% in 3 days. Or you could also intermittent fast, which is more doable. But with activation, you can actually double your sirtuin function within 1 day by merely taking the protandim NAD synergizer, and you would make both more NAD and sirtuins in 1/3 of the time. Increase that sirtuin activity, and all of a sudden the cells get degunked and they start moving again, just like they were supposed to. Okay, so now we've talked about turning back on the 3 different genetic signaling pathways. What does that do for us? Well, all the things that our cellular systems are supposed to do, start turning on again at more youthful levels. We've reduced oxidative stress to decrease cell damage and aging. We've boosted mitochondrial production to boost our cellular energy. And finally, we've lowered this gunk buildup of the cells by increasing sirtuin activity. So now here's the big question. What do you think would happen if you could flip all 3 of these switches on at the same time? Can you tell I'm excited? I'm sorry, I can't help myself. I'm a scientist. When you flip all 3, here's a summary of what happens. Less oxidative stress, less of that body basically eating itself up, cellular rusting, right? That's cellular aging. Improvement in the cellular energy, and then improvement in the processes or the degunkification. I know I made up that word. It's making that cell actually do what it's supposed to do when you put all three together. It also does something really interesting. When I saw this study in 2019, y'all, you may not be a science person, and maybe some of this stuff I've talked about is way over your head, but there are some scientists out there that when they saw this, like when I saw it, it blew my mind, because not only is each product the best in its class, there's nothing else that activates NRF2 pathways or NRF1 pathways like Protandim. Remember, this is a first of its kind, a paradigm shift in the approach to health. There's nothing else that activates the NAD sirtuin pathway like Protandim NAD synergizer. But when you put the three of them together, look at these results. The results are exponentially better. I mean, look at that. Anywhere from 71% on the low end and right up to almost 1,863% more activation with all three of them working together. I'm talking about witnessing a scientific breakthrough. No company, no product has ever been able to do this before. And Protandim got 7 US patents and 6 international patents for it. And my understanding is that there are 3 more patents on their way. The bottom line is that the 3 of them are better together than any one of them alone. And this is not a sum of their effects, it's actually a multiplication effect. They each make each other amplify so much better. Are you getting this? Do you realize the potential to your health here? These are life-changing products in a world where people need this more than ever. So, are you ready to flip the switch? What are some of the benefits? I was talking about those as we were going along. Positive mood and motivation. Who doesn't want to be more motivated, especially in the world we're living in? There are so many things that are coming at us right now. We want to live not just longer, but healthier longevity, correct? We want to improve our health spans, better focus, clarity and concentration, more mental energy. It also helps to mediate our immune system and supports a healthier vascular system. Those are things that everybody is looking for, particularly in this upside down world we're living in right now. So if you're ready to flip the switch, let's do it. It's as simple as the Protandim Trisynergizer, NRF2, NRF1, and NAD. You choose one